Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. We really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, please leave us a comment. Make sure to stay with us until the end because we have a fun little surprise coming up. And if you want to be notified whenever we release a new episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. If you liked this episode, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a like and share it with any friends who might find it interesting. Don't forget to tell your friends about us too.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are here to take your complex stack of articles and research and, well, distill it down into the most compelling, actionable knowledge you need. Today we're jumping into a topic that, honestly, should be front and center in every health conversation. But it often gets pushed to the background. We're talking about the silent erosion of your physical independence.
We're talking about age-related muscle loss, which scientifically is known as sarcopenia. And the sources you shared reveal that this is not a niche problem at all. It's a national crisis in slow motion. It affects nearly half of all Americans over the age of 65.
And here's where the information gets truly urgent for anyone listening. Your beloved morning ritual, that cup of coffee you rely on for a boost, it could actually be accelerating this devastating muscle loss every single day.
It sounds completely backwards, doesn't it?
It does. But the research shows coffee can trigger certain metabolic pathways that we really need to counteract.
The great news, though, is that the solution is built right into the problem. We can, weaponize that same cup of coffee. Our mission today is to show you how, using 8 simple, really affordable additions, you can turn your daily brew into a powerful, metabolic-focused, muscle-rebuilding tonic.
So this deep dive is all about moving past just treating weakness and fatigue as, just getting older. We're going straight for the metabolic root causes of the decline.
Exactly. The core finding is that muscle tissue remains incredibly responsive throughout your entire life. It doesn't just give up. But as we age, we face resistance, a series of internal biological roadblocks that prevent muscle from rebuilding itself efficiently. If we understand and remove those roadblocks, the body does the rest.
Okay, let's unpack sarcopenia. The word itself sounds a little dense, but the concept is, it's alarmingly simple. It's the generalized loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength. Why should the average listener who maybe isn't a bodybuilder really care about this?
Because sarcopenia is the single biggest predictor of frailty and loss of independence. It's not just about losing the definition in your arms, it's about losing the foundation that supports your entire quality of life.
And the timeline is aggressive. I saw that muscle decline starts relatively early, around age 55.
That's right, and once it starts, it accelerates. The sources indicate you can lose up to 8% of your total muscle mass every single decade.
8%, think about that. 8% of your physical engine just disappearing every 10 years.
And that's why the research focuses so much on this acceleration. It's a slow-motion catastrophe.
So we have to make this tangible for the listener. What does that 8% loss actually look like in real life?
It means that the ability to perform crucial daily tasks, what we call functional independence, it just starts failing. We're talking about the simple act of climbing a flight of stairs and getting winded halfway up.
We're suddenly needing 2 trips to carry the groceries because, one bag is just too heavy.
Exactly. And that gradual inability to do things leads directly to falls, which lead to fractures, which lead to hospitalizations.
And then the devastating cycle of complete loss of independence forever. It's an escalating risk that starts with a weakness you don't even notice.
It's so crucial that we catch the early warnings. If you notice your clothing feels, say, looser around your arms or legs, but tighter around your waist, that is a classic physical sign. It indicates that your functional, metabolically active muscle tissue is literally being replaced by fat tissue.
That's a powerful visualization. The substitution of fat for muscle happening right under your skin. So, if the problem is that clear muscle loss, why does the common advice of just eat more protein consistently fail for people over 60?
This is the centerpiece of the deep dive. It's because the root cause is metabolic resistance, not just a lack of intake. We've identified 4 core biological resistances that conventional medicine often misses.
Okay, let's go deep on these. What's the first hurdle the body puts up?
The first is something called anabolic resistance. Anabolic essentially means building, And you can think of your muscles as having lost their hearing. They become deaf to the signal to rebuild.
Deaf, that's a powerful analogy. So if my muscle is deaf, does that mean I'm just wasting the protein I'm eating, even if I increase it?
Precisely. This is why people who faithfully consume protein shakes still get so frustrated. The amount of protein that worked when they were 40 barely registers now. A groundbreaking 2024 study confirmed this. It found older individuals show a significantly diminished muscle protein synthesis response to protein.
So we need to turn up the volume on that protein signal to overcome the deafness.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's the first hurdle, what's the second metabolic obstacle?
If the first problem is the deaf ear, the second is chronic inflammation. Think of it as a constantly burning fire.
A low-grade, constant fire inside your muscle cells.
A slow internal burnout. It's destroying healthy tissue daily. No matter how much building material protein you throw at it, the fire keeps burning it down before it can even be installed.
So you can't build a new house on a foundation that's on fire.
You can't. This is a major reason why eating more protein alone is so ineffective. We have to put out the fire first.
So if the fire's burning the building materials, that leads us directly into the energy problem, doesn't it?
It does. And that brings us to the third cause, mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria are the microscopic power plants inside every single cell. They're responsible for energy production.
They're what allow your muscles to repair and regenerate. And as we age, what happens to these little power plants?
They get damaged, they get worn out, often from, cumulative oxidative stress. Energy production plummets.
Yeah.
When your muscles don't have that steady, reliable fuel, everything slows down and the breakdown accelerates. This is the real reason for that persistent, confusing midday exhaustion, even if you've slept 8 hours.
Your internal engine is just running out of gas.
Exactly. And the final piece of the metabolic puzzle, the one that connects muscle loss directly to our overall systemic health.
Let me guess, insulin.
You got it, insulin resistance. This mechanism basically locks the vital nutrients out of the muscle fibers at the cellular level. Think of insulin as the key that opens the cell door to let glucose and amino acids inside.
And if the cell stops responding to the key?
Then the building blocks can't get to the construction site. It's a double whammy. This resistance not only impairs muscle building, it creates a vicious downward spiral. The more muscle mass you lose, the more insulin resistant you become, which just accelerates the problem year after year.
So that's the four complexities.
Yeah.
Anabolic resistance, the deafness. Chronic inflammation, the fire. Mitochondrial dysfunction, low fuel. And insulin resistance, locked doors.
But here's the major takeaway from all the sources. The body wants to heal. It's genetically programmed for repair. We just have to provide the correct nutritional signals to overcome these four resistances all at once.
It's about signaling, not just saturation. It's about giving the body the right directions to turn that building switch back on.
Exactly. And the most elegant solution is integrating these signals into the simplest, most consistent daily ritual we have.
The coffee. Okay, let's get into the game plan. These are simple, affordable ingredients that can transform your morning coffee from a potential muscle destroyer into a rebuilding weapon. Let's break down all 8, starting right away with fighting that insulin resistance.
Addition number 1, Ceylon cinnamon. Just half a teaspoon. This spice is a remarkable blood sugar stabilizer. Why does that matter for muscle? Well, unstable blood sugar triggers stress hormones like cortisol.
And cortisol is notorious for breaking down muscle tissue for emergency fuel. It's catabolic.
Right. It forces the body into a breakdown state. So using Ceylon cinnamon prevents those rapid spikes and crashes, maintaining a smooth, muscle-friendly energy curve all morning.
And we really have to stress this. You must use Ceylon cinnamon. The common, cheaper cassia variety contains much higher levels of a compound called coumarin, which can be harmful in large daily doses. Ceylon is safer for long-term use. John from Miami, a retired engineer, used this, and he completely eliminated that foggy, exhausted afternoon crash he always got from his morning caffeine spike.
Okay, moving from internal energy to the delivery system, let's tackle circulation. Addition number 2, unsweetened cocoa powder. 1 teaspoon.
And we're not talking about Swiss Miss here, right? We mean raw, high-quality cocoa.
Definitely. This is fascinating because it links something we associate with pleasure to actual muscle function. It's rich in flavonoids. Think of your blood vessels as the highway system delivering oxygen and nutrients. As we age, these highways stiffen. The cocoa flavonoids help them relax and dilate.
So you're basically upgrading the highway system.
Exactly. Better delivery. And that makes all the other additions much more effective. If the roads are clear, the supplies arrive faster.
A study confirmed this, right? It showed cocoa improved walking speed and reduced inflammation.
It did. Evelyn from Portland, who suffered from that chronic leg heaviness, found that adding cocoa helped relieve that feeling, and she could resume her longer daily walks.
Okay, next up, let's address that mitochondrial dysfunction, the low fuel warning.
Addition number 3, coconut oil or MCT oil. Start small with this one, maybe half a teaspoon, and then you can work your way up to a full tablespoon.
Adding fat to coffee, which gives it that creamy texture, it feels like a cheat. But there's a real metabolic reason behind it.
Absolutely. Medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, are handled differently by the body. They are rapidly used to create ketones, and ketones offer a steady, sustained alternative fuel source that your muscles and brain can use very efficiently, especially when your standard glucose metabolism is sputtering with age. It's clean-burning fuel.
That's a powerful strategy against midday exhaustion. I read about Harold from Chicago. He added this, and not only did his morning energy dips disappear, he lost 12 pounds of stubborn belly fat in 3 months, without changing anything else.
It's a huge shift in metabolic efficiency. Okay, now let's address the foundational building blocks, the protein. This is about combating that overnight muscle breakdown. Addition number 4, milk or fortified soy milk, just half a cup.
And this gives you a quick dose of complete protein, maybe 4 to 8 grams.
Yeah.
But why is this morning dose so critical if seniors are already eating protein later in the day?
Because of that anabolic resistance we talked about. The 2024 McMaster study was very clear on this. Seniors typically skew their protein intake heavily toward dinner. This means they go through the entire morning, often for hours after waking, in a catabolic breakdown state. Evenly distributing protein is critical.
And a necessary warning here. The sources say you must avoid almond, rice, or oat milk for this purpose. They might taste good, but they contain almost no functional protein for this rebuilding task.
Right. And complementing that foundational protein is addition number 5, collagen powder, 1 scoop. This focuses not on muscle mass, but on the infrastructure.
So it's the supporting cast, not the lead actor.
Perfect way to put it. Collagen provides specific amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. They act as the structural glue for your joints, your tendons, and ligaments. While collagen does not directly trigger muscle protein synthesis, it stabilizes the entire system. I mean, if your joints hurt, you can't use your muscles properly.
Makes sense. Robert from Phoenix, an avid gardener, said his chronic joint pain disappeared after 6 weeks of this, and he got back to heavy lifting in his yard.
Now for the true activator, the key that turns up the volume on that deaf muscle, addition number 6, whey protein powder, 1 scoop.
And this is arguably the most crucial one for fighting that anabolic resistance.
It is. Whey is incredibly rich in leucine. And leucine is the amino acid that acts like the molecular ignition switch for the muscle rebuilding process.
That's a specific signal the aging body needs to finally hear the protein.
It is. The McMaster study highlighted this, showing whey increased muscle protein synthesis by nearly 10% in older subjects. Another study found seniors using whey gained an average of 4 pounds of lean muscle mass in 6 months.
Wow, 4 pounds of lean muscle, just from adding a nutrient to coffee. That is the kind of leverage our listeners are looking for. Okay, next, let's attack that internal fire chronic inflammation with the potent duo of addition number 7, turmeric and black pepper.
Half a teaspoon of turmeric and just a pinch of pepper. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is one of nature's most effective anti-inflammatory agents. We need it to calm that internal burnout.
But the absorption detail here is so important, it deserves special attention.
It really does. Your body struggles immensely to absorb curcumin on its own. It's mostly wasted. But black pepper contains piperine, which acts as a bioavailability enhancer. It increases curcumin absorption by an astonishing 2,000%.
2,000. So without the black pepper, you're essentially drinking expensive yellow water.
You are. And a 2024 review found that bioavailable curcumin with pepper increased hand grip strength and improved walking time. A co from Los Angeles who had debilitating knee pain found this allowed her to resume hiking, mostly pain-free.
Incredible. And finally, what's the complete nutritional jackpot that ties all these benefits together? Structure, energy, and inflammation control.
That would be addition number 8, ground chia seeds, 1 teaspoon. This little seed is a triple threat.
It provides plant-based protein, a complete source with all 9 essential amino acids. It has omega-3 fatty acids to reduce inflammation, and fiber to help stabilize blood sugar.
It addresses 3 of the 4 resistances all at once.
Yes, and here is the final non-negotiable step for the chia. They must be ground into a fine powder before you use them. If you just toss whole seeds in your coffee, they will likely pass right through your system unused. You'll miss out on the benefits.
Right. George from Seattle found that using the ground seeds specifically improved his digestion, decreased joint stiffness, and gave him a noticeable lift in overall vitality.
That is 8 ingredients, each one strategically targeting one or more of the 4 root causes.
It's a complete metabolic toolkit designed for the first 30 minutes of your day.
Now, for the listener who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by 8 new ingredients and powders,
Right.
how do we start this without feeling like we're building a chemistry set every morning?
We always recommend the beginner strategy first. For the first 2 weeks, just start with 3 ingredients. Focus on immediate benefits. Ceylon cinnamon for blood sugar, milk or soy milk for that essential protein kick, and the turmeric and black pepper duo to attack inflammation.
Master those 3, notice the improved energy, and then you can slowly start adding the others.
Exactly. And once you're ready to graduate to the advanced protocol, the ultimate muscle rebuilding coffee, the recipe is precise. 8 ounces of hot coffee, plus a half teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of cocoa, 1 teaspoon of MCT oil, half a cup of milk or soy, 1 scoop of collagen, 1 scoop of whey, 1 teaspoon of ground chia, and half a teaspoon of turmeric with that pinch of black pepper.
And a simple kitchen blender or a milk frother is highly recommended to get a nice creamy texture.
And for maximum impact, timing is crucial. Consume this first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and wait at least 30 minutes before eating any solid food. This maximizes nutrient absorption and ensures the leucine from the whey really hits your muscle receptors without competition.
For those dedicated listeners looking to accelerate results even further, what's the advanced optimization strategy?
You must pair this nutrition with resistance exercise at least 3 times a week. Even simple movements, wall push-ups, chair squats, resistance bands, they produce an immensely synergistic effect.
So the nutrition provides the building blocks and the signal.
And the exercise provides the demand.
And for tracking progress scientifically, what markers should people look for?
We recommend asking your doctor to periodically monitor your C-reactive protein, which is a great marker for systemic inflammation. Also, just tracking your grip strength is an excellent, easy, functional indicator of your total body muscle health.
And finally, before anyone runs out and starts mixing, we need the crucial safety warning.
Absolutely. Always consult a doctor if you are pregnant, diabetic, or on any prescribed medication. This is critical. The source material specifically warns that because turmeric is so potent, it can significantly increase the effects of blood-thinning medications. Please use that addition cautiously and only with medical guidance if you're taking blood thinners.
This has been a complete deep dive into reclaiming physical independence.
We want to reiterate the core message here. The slow, age-related muscle loss we call sarcopenia is not a mandated part of aging. It is not inevitable, and it's not permanent. The body is resilient. It's ready to heal when you systematically reduce that inflammation and provide the signals to overcome metabolic resistance.
Imagine the transformation you could see in just 6 months. Having the strength to climb those stairs easily, to play actively with your grandchildren, to pursue your hobbies well into your 80s without that constant drag of fatigue. This knowledge provides a clear, affordable alternative to a system that often just treats symptoms without ever addressing these underlying metabolic root causes.
It really offers the ability to change the trajectory of aging and retain your vitality.
So here is the final provocative thought for you to chew on this week. Since the crucial difference between maintaining your independence versus becoming frail often comes down to what you stir into your coffee, consider which one of the 4 root causes, anabolic resistance, inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, or insulin resistance, you believe is silently affecting your energy the most. Use that self-assessment to guide your decision about which single simple addition you will make your coffee tomorrow morning. We'll see you on the next deep dive.